Hello and welcome to the second episode of Shooting Our Mouths Off, the podcast for James fans by James fans. I'm Laura.
And I'm Liam. And in this episode, we are going to discuss the James Summer 2025 tour, the ins, the outs, and everything that went on.
So we started in Middlesbrough
We did.
in April.
How was that April? How were we at the end of the tour already? I can't quite get my head around that.
It felt like there was so much to happen. And I
Yeah,
guess so much has happened if you think about everywhere we've been.
yeah. Well, like say starting in Middlesbrough and then up to Edinburgh, then obviously the actual summer tour, doing festivals and summer sessions.
So we had quite a lot of surprises in Middlesbrough because we hadn't had a gig since Braga in
Yeah,
December.
so it had been 4 months, which seemed like a lifetime, but it came around quite fast, really. Before we knew it, it was there.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of announced quite last minute, the Middlesbrough gig, wasn't it? It was a warm up.
Yeah, it was. We didn't think we'd be seeing them until May because we were
Yeah,
doing neighbourhood week.
because it was Warrington was the neighbourhood one. That was the
Yeah,
first one on the list of summer gigs, and then Middlesbrough was announced, which was brilliant. And that was
yeah, it was absolutely
as
incredible.
an opening gig for a tour and for the year. That was a pretty special gig because not only is it a fantastic venue and obviously James have played there a number of times, but it was full of surprises. The amount of songs that came back that gig were it was just surprise after surprise.
Yeah, I didn't expect, I guess because Yummy obviously came out last year
Hmm.
and we've had the orchestral album since,
Yeah,
but no like new material. So I thought we'd be in for a very similar set list, but we
yeah.
got
We
quite
we seemed, I think more like
a
the last sort of 2 or 3 years, we seem to have lost a lot of. We lost quite a lot of extraordinary times and Girl at the End of the World. A lot of it seemed to have went back into the back catalogue.
yeah.
But this year they do seem to have pulled a lot of those songs back out, as well as the Yummy and a lot of the classics. That they just seem to have really opened up the portfolio of songs this year.
Yeah, it was amazing to get some more Living in Extraordinary Times tracks. I mean, we got busted.
That
That
that was a special. I'm a little bit disappointed that hasn't stayed because I think they played it for the first maybe month. I think maybe got a three or
yeah,
I think we got it about 3 or 4 times, but it seems to have disappeared again.
yeah. I don't think we heard it after
Yeah, I
Halifax.
think Halifax was the last one that we heard it at least. It might have been played at
Yeah,
another one. Obviously, State was like Heads has stayed. That's been quite a strong one that is stayed going through to America, which is brilliant. I think
yeah, that's been
the effort they've
amazing.
put into that one with the graphics on the background, I think it was quite obvious it was going to stick around just with the effort they've put into
Yeah.
the other things going on in that one.
The lights and
Yeah,
Chloe on the drums, and
yeah,
it all just works so well.
yeah, and it's quite
I hope
obviously
that
quite
gets
important. It's just a brilliant song, and then also bring
Leviathan.
Leviathan as well, and the effort they've put into that one for the graphics in the background, the video footage. Obviously,
I think
all
that's been a big crowd favourite, hasn't it, over the summer?
it has, and it was always a favourite of mine, and it was a one I was quite gutted had been away for so long. And when we heard that come when that did at the barrier, hearing that in Middlesbrough was just absolutely fantastic.
And that becoming one of Tim's staple songs where he comes into the crowd as well.
Yeah, and it always was. I remember the first time I ever held Tim up on the barrier, it was Leviathan.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was Leviathan in Edinburgh
Oh,
in
I didn't know that.
2019.
Yeah.
Edinburgh
That's
Summer
the last time,
Edinburgh
I
Summer
think.
Sessions. Yeah, he came out and it was yeah, he literally came down, took my hand as he was singing the line, "Take my hand, 1, 2, 3."
It's such a clever song to do that with.
Yeah,
And I think the intimacy of it
it's a
when
very
he does
intimate
the
song.
vocals,
Yeah,
like to do that from the barrier, like with everybody.
no, it is. It's a
Amazing.
it's a really really good song. What else has been back? I feel like there's
All Good
all
Boys.
good, all good
I
boys.
guess it's not really like a big return because it's quite sporadic in set lists, but we hadn't had it since 2023, I think it was.
Yeah, I think obviously we didn't have it. It was the year before the orchestral album, or the
Yeah,
couple that they did that summer. I think we got it.
yeah, it wasn't often.
No, but I think even in general, they don't play that song often. It does seem to be a song
No,
that comes and goes, which I think we discussed in the last episode that we kind of like that because it makes it more special.
yeah, you're never going to get sick of it. You're always going to be so happy to hear it.
And obviously, it's a
And
favourite of
another one that they didn't really keep up that was really good at the start was I Want to Go Home.
yes, because they sound checked that in Edinburgh. That
Yeah,
was on the VIP sound check, and they did that in Edinburgh, and it was I do love that song.
It's gorgeous. And I think they did it on, was it night one in Halifax when it
Night,
was raining?
yeah, night one in Halifax, and then they haven't done it since. And it's one of those
Well,
songs I would expect possibly to see coming up in America because it's a
yeah,
bit more
more
intimate,
in.
and obviously now, obviously episode two, the tour has now started, so we can see the types of venues James are playing, and they all do seem to be quite intimate venues. They're very small, they're not very big, and it's sort of venues that suit that sort of song.
Such a big difference to the venues that they play over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they just say England, they're doing like an arena tour where you've got 30,000 people. The
Yeah,
venues
and they
that
sell
do
them out.
this and that's sold out, and obviously they've sold out a few of the American gigs, but they're venues with a capacity of 1,500 on average.
It's crazy.
But obviously we've seen a lot of venues this year. We've seen obviously from the Peace Hall, obviously Victoria Park in Warrington. We've seen a lot of venues. I, d- I don't know if I could put a favourite because there's been so many. Like castles as well. We've played a few castles this year. Colchester Castle.
Well, we're not counting Colchester as a
Well,
castle, Liam.
we couldn't even find the castle.
I could not see a castle,
What was the other castles?
but it was,
You
it was a
did.
nice park.
No, that was Cardiff. Cardiff Castle was,
Cardiff was
yeah.
beautiful. I
Um,
think as it got dark, it was all lit up. And when Tim was on the barrier, you could see the castle behind him.
mhm.
Lincoln.
Lincoln Castle. That was stunning.
Lincoln was gorgeous.
That was a castle.
Yeah. Because on the way in, you literally went like under the castle, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we had to go under the drawbridge. It was so cool.
Yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah, but and then the Peace Hall. We've done that before. Obviously, we did that in 2023. So we
Yeah, I
did.
think it was after the orchestra tour.
Yeah, so obviously we did Halifax in 2023, and I loved it then. And going back to it was just so lovely because it is a really nice venue.
It's hard not to just choose that one as the best. It's
I
so
would
beautiful.
I would say obviously although those castles were stunning, there's just something about Halifax, Peace Hall, that is special.
Yeah. Even just walking around it in the day when the gig hasn't
Yeah, and it was
started
nice
yet.
to go into all the little shops, like the little antique shops. There was the vinyl shop, which was great to go and get some vinyls.
Our loafers, yeah, we
Yeah,
brought spent a bit
loafers.
on
Yeah, I
loafers.
wasn't expecting that. But they had some good records in there, and we were able to get a couple of things that we liked. I think I got a Pulp album. You got
Sea
yeah,
fever. I
we
bought
both
sea
got a Sea Fever album as well,
fever.
which was nice to get limited edition things. And it's always nice to support local businesses as well.
Yeah, definitely. I guess because a lot of festival gigs are sort of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they are.
So something like that, I think
And
the doors opened at like 6 and we had like until 4
yeah,
in
we
the
had a
Peace
load of
Hall
time,
to
and I
do your
think
own
that's
thing.
what I do prefer about the summer sessions, is they're not too big. You're not there all day, and they're always in nice places.
Yeah, James do play a lot of nice
They
places.
do, and I mean, but yes, James do some beautiful venues and beautiful places in this country, and sometimes it's a bit of a shame that we don't get to go and see those places around there. I know,
Yeah, it's very
because I know all
true.
the time I come home and my grandfather says to us, "Oh, did you go and see this? Did you go and see that?" And it's like we didn't have time, and
No,
you'll
well, it's
always
like when we went to Edinburgh.
it was, yeah. And he's
We
like,
had
"Oh, did you go to
to
the?"
go to Warrington.
Yeah, my grandma was like, "You said to us when he picked you up, did you just go to the castle?" No, we seen
We
it though.
saw the
We
castle.
saw it and it was beautiful, but we didn't go. No.
Yeah, it is a shame. I think that's why it's so nice when we just went to Spain,
Yeah,
we added an extra day to the trip where we could actually
yeah.
like
We
have a
didn't
look
rush. We
around.
didn't rush home. Yeah, and it would be nice to do
Yeah,
that more often because I do think we do rush sometimes. But I suppose when we've got to get to the next place, then we haven't got much choice.
yeah,
But no, I did like that about when we did Spain, and I think Spain for
it's so
me
nice.
has definitely been a standout gig this year. Both of them.
They were just tremendous.
It was another level. Like
I
Santander.
think people thought I was a major loser on Instagram because I just kept posting saying best weekend of my life.
Yeah,
Like nothing will compare.
but it was. I mean, obviously we've got America to come, so hold that thought. But
Yeah.
it was a
Oh,
different atmosphere.
Santander.
Santander,
Yeah, doing a European festival
yeah,
after a sort of UK ones.
and it
What a
was
difference.
and it was a completely different atmosphere to start with. It was so calm. There was no sort of like race for the barrier. It was just people came and went. Everyone was just really nice.
It was so everybody came and went and returned with hot dogs and drinks. It was just
Yeah,
so calm.
Yeah, it was lovely. And
And a really big difference of what time they were on as well.
well, yeah, they came on. Was it?
8, I think the gates were 6, and we had a couple of people on, and then they came on at 8, so it was still light.
Yeah, that was great for
And
photos.
I
So
remember
we got some beautiful photos at that gig.
it was really good for photos. And I remember Tim looking out and saying, "Is everybody else coming later?"
Yeah,
Because the Spanish come a lot later for the
yeah, they
gigs.
do.
Because when we left about an hour after James finished, didn't we?
Yeah, we
And
stayed
it
around
was
for a little bit, didn't we?
about to floor kicking off.
But no, it was just fantastic. And then Alicante. Where do you start with Alicante?
First, I thought it was going to be huge, the
Yeah,
Alicante gig.
I did as well. But
When I
then when we got
saw,
there, obviously
yeah,
we all went round during the day, and it was, is it nice to explore Alicante? But it was just a pier. It was tiny.
it was really small, and that was a really chill one as
Yeah, it
well.
was. I do think it's just a different it's a different way in those sort of festivals over in like Europe. It is completely different. Like I've done the ones in we did Braga last year, and that was very similar.
Yeah,
People,
people just seem to plonk. They get their drinks and a bit of food, and they sort of find a nice spot on the floor, and everybody just sits
yeah,
around like they're in a park.
yeah, and just wait for the gigs to come on. Band
Yeah, it's
goes
a bit
on,
like
band
walking
comes off. They
around
go and get drinks.
Glastonbury.
They come back.
It's really nice. And even though everybody's constantly getting drinks, I don't feel like we've had any experience with really drunk people.
No, and I think that's another thing with the European gigs is it isn't like a massive drunk fest. It's people are going for the music. Whereas unfortunately, I do think in the UK, it's an opportunity to go and get drunk,
Yeah,
and it does sometimes take away what it should be about, and that's the music and the sort of community aspect of it, and everyone coming together for one interest.
yeah, especially day festivals.
Definitely, because when people are arriving at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and they're not leaving until nearly 11 o'clock, it's a long time.
Mm. It's a long time to be drinking.
Yeah,
That's that's always when there's bother, isn't
yeah,
there?
and it is a shame when there's bother, but definitely in Spain, Portugal, there's never any bother, which is nice.
No. The Portugal gigs this year look gorgeous. I'm
They
quite
did,
sad we weren't
yeah,
at them.
yeah. I seen the photos for those, and it again, it wasn't one of those free.
It was free, and it looked like it was on like a narrow cobbled street with like gorgeous windows and doors. And
Yeah, it looked like it was a
Andy went up a really nice
yeah.
balcony, and
Andy does love a balcony though.
he does love a balcony. And the ones in Europe are
A little bit more
they
refined.
refined is definitely the word. I think you could choose a favourite gig of the summer, like an all round like everything.
I think for me, it's so hard because obviously with I think Alicante is a standout because obviously we got to experience a stage invasion, got to go on and dance for Lade, which was just it was a
Yeah,
fantastic moment. I mean,
if anything,
getting over that barrier, gee, the injuries, but it was worth it. And it was an experience. But I think in terms of the gig itself and like the set list and like all round, I think for me I've got to go for night one of Halifax.
night one.
Night one. The set list was fantastic. We got All Good Boys. We got Fred Astaire, which hadn't been heard for a while. We got I Want to Go Home. For me, it was just for that the set list just blew it away and the atmosphere. How about you?
The atmosphere for that one, I think, says a lot about James, how
Mm.
they come on. And it's an outdoor gig, it's throwing it down. People are pretty miserable waiting, and they just rose to the challenge instantly.
And I think
And it was
that's
the same. It was the same at Neighbourhood, wasn't it?
yeah.
He'd been absolutely throwing it down all day.
And I think
I looked like a panda with my eye makeup.
yeah. And I think that's the thing with James gigs. They rise to the challenge every time. They don't
Yeah,
disappoint. They come on, they read the room, and they think, right, they just know instantly what they need to do to win the crowd over, and they do it every single time.
yeah,
Obviously, this in the summer they've been doing the support acts for the Catfish and the Bottlemen, so they were going to an
yeah,
audience that wasn't even theirs, and they walked in and they just stole it. Obviously, we went Heaton Park, and
yeah.
obviously it was very busy. It was a very different audience, but when they started playing, you could see everyone getting into it, like dancing, like having a nice time and clapping along. The
They got a really good reaction.
yeah,
And when you look at I can't remember where they played in London. And Tim went out into the crowd and he actually walked like through the crowd.
yeah,
and danced with people and went on the second barrier. And imagine seeing a support act and you're not really aware of them, and then they do something like
They
that.
just really, I think that's the thing with James is James don't see themselves as a support act. They just
No,
come along, they put on their show, they own it,
yeah.
and they win people over.
They're amazing support act, which is why we're glad they're supporting themselves really in
I
America.
know it's going to be good because we've seen them support
Yeah,
themselves before, and that was always great when they did the acoustic set.
yeah.
And it's interesting to
And then
start
again,
seeing the set list as well that they are actually sticking to the album order. How long is that going to last?
that really surprised me. I
I kind
really
of
didn't
thought,
expect.
oh yeah, they'll do it on the first night, but then they've done it the second night, and it was like, oh, you just really are
Mm,
sticking to it.
yeah, I'm interested to see where the second set goes because over the last two nights, which were Atlanta and Nashville, a few of the tracks were the same,
Yeah,
like Shaggy, but
yeah, like Shadow and Way
quite
Over Your
a
Head
lot
have
were different.
stayed, but then they've thrown in some curveballs. They've done some quite different.
Yeah, it's amazing to be able to have that many songs that you can choose from that would please people.
Yeah,
Because I looked at both set lists and was like, I would have been happy with both of those.
well, yeah, just they're just looking at like, Atlanta. They got for the second set. They got Shadow of a Giant, Way Over Your Head, Waltzing Along, Interrogation, Stay, Heads, Born of Frustration, Tomorrow, and Sound. But then fast forward to the next set list, and you got Way Over Your Head, She's a Star, Ring the Bells, Leviathan, Shadow of a Giant, Curse Curse, Beautiful Beaches, Sit Down, and Getting Away with It All Messed Up. So they really changed it. Like
Yeah,
it's almost a completely different set list, bar a couple of songs. So
and a
what other
lot of
curveballs
upbeat
are we going to
ones.
get?
You just never
If
know. You
that's
don't know
night
what
two,
they were.
if they've changed the set list that much in 2 days, what they're going to do for the rest of the tour?
I wonder if they have got any like hidden gems.
So I would say so because just judging by what the build it as obviously playing the late album in its entirety and deep cuts and others,
Yeah,
what deep cuts might we get?
because usually we'd know from like VIP sound checks,
Yeah,
but because it's been festivals and there's only been a couple of their actual gigs, there haven't been any VIP sound checks,
there's
so
been
we don't know what they're working on.
well, there's only been one VIP soundtrack in the UK this year, hasn't there?
Yeah, there
Edinburgh.
wasn't one in Middlesbrough.
No, it's
Yeah,
just Edinburgh,
Edinburgh.
and that I said when we
Mhm.
got I want to go home, um,
Attention, who we got?
attention, and way over your head, or was it she's a star?
Can't remember.
But it'll be interesting to see what the actual VIPs are getting in their sound checks. 'Cause I don't think I've seen what people have been getting.
The only one I've seen is that in Nashville they got one of the three, Knuckle
Right,
Too Far and Come Home.
right, okay. So they pretty much did all laid songs.
At least people got to hear Come Home.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's 2 weeks for us, and then the 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks on yeah, two
Two
weeks on
weeks on
Monday, so
Monday.
we come in when they're really, really good.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, they're gonna be pros by the time we arrive.
Exactly. Well, they're pros, aren't
Especially when it comes to the late album, because that's something that some of those songs they've not played in years.
they? No, they haven't. That's very true. So, is it just the one that is it just everybody knows that they hadn't played ever?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But then one of the three, in I think I've seen them do one of the three once,
Hmm.
and for some reason, I had this memory of seeing them do it like quite a few times, but they've barely
It's one
played that
I've
before.
never heard it live.
But then I never hear PS live, and that's quite a regular one.
Yeah, I've heard that
Look at the drawers.
once this summer, or maybe I haven't as well.
I think I heard it in Glengollen.
Right. No,
Wait,
it's
maybe it was a.
it's a good one. It's a good one live.
Oh, it's a beautiful song. But we've had lots of memorable events as well
I know.
over the summer.
We'll have obviously from stage invasion.
Yeah, I mean, I know they did the stage invasions. I think they definitely did them in Portugal,
Yeah,
and they
it
did
does seem to be a
some in
European.
Spain.
It does. It does seem to be something they do in Europe rather than in the UK. I don't know whether
Yeah,
it's because
and
it's
I think we were
smaller.
the only. Yeah, we were the only English fans that made it on, weren't we?
Yeah,
Which is a miracle that we made it on,
I
really,
still
because
don't know
that
how we
barrier
got.
was so
It was
high.
so high. Like we are pros at a barrier. We've been stood at many a barrier, and it's never that high. I don't
No,
get
and I'm
why
5'4". I don't know how I got my leg over the barrier.
you managed it though. I mean, I just remember pushing myself up and then just being propelled over. Someone grabbed me, mum grabbed me legs and just launched us,
And then you just lay on the walkway.
and then just hearing over the sound system, Saul, be careful, Liam. Fuck's sake. It's like, thank you. Thank you, Saul. Thank you
Can you,
for worrying
can you
about me.
imagine what it used to look like from the stage?
I'm just
It must have been so funny to see.
I'm just glad there's no footage of me going over or just lying there on Tim's walkway.
I'm glad Tim was on the other
Tim
side
didn't even know we'd been
and
up.
wasn't just stood there like, what are you doing?
Tim didn't even know we'd been up. It wasn't until we drew the raffle and was like, "Oh yeah, we were on the stage dancing. Were you?"
Yeah, I've hurt my wrist, Tim.
No.
My wrist still hurts.
It was a great experience.
Nobody gave me any sympathy because they said it was self-inflicted.
I think I gave you
But
sympathy. I was being sympathetic because
yeah,
my hip was hurting as well.
it was the next day when we
Yeah,
got up, and I said to you, I can barely walk.
I was in so much pain the next day.
Like, it was definitely I think it was the slam of falling onto the walkway.
Yeah,
I don't know how people do it.
no.
Nobody else over all these years. I mean, we've got friends who have done it several
Yeah,
times. I don't know how people get over so elegantly.
no. There was nothing elegant about it. No.
But it was great to see things from like a completely different perspective as well. Like looking at the crowd.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. Like being on the stage. We were actually on
Yeah.
the stage looking out.
I was waving at your mum like I was on the TV.
Yeah,
Like
like
it was, and
hi,
being
look at us.
behind Saul, and we were in front of Dave's drum
Yeah,
kit. It was just so bizarre.
yeah. It was cool.
But that's definitely one of the
Yeah.
most memorable
I think
events.
another memorable one for me was Edinburgh. Obviously, we'd just lost obviously Soapy, who was one of the biggest James fans in the James community, probably the biggest in the Scottish James fan community.
Yeah,
And obviously, we were able to organise a lot of people wearing yellow. And I think for me, seeing Tim walk out and Andy and Dave wearing yellow, it was quite emotional.
I think because obviously Andy and Dave came out first, and everybody was emotional. I think when Tim walked out,
It just that did
everybody
it.
was floored. It
Yeah,
just everybody was gone.
because we'd hammered the social media kind of trying to get it out there.
Yeah,
You'd never know what to expect. And then when we walked
no,
in and we seen the yellow lights, and it was like, oh, okay, is this just a coincidence? But we took it to say, oh,
yeah,
okay, let's believe that this is on purpose. And then seeing them come out in yellow, it was like, no, this isn't a coincidence.
yeah,
This is organised. They've seen our campaign and they've done this for Soapy.
yeah.
And then
It's
obviously
obviously, like him especially he has like his stage outfits, doesn't he?
he does, and the fact that he just tossed aside a stage outfit to wear that yellow hoodie.
That he kept on for the whole thing, even though it was red hot as well.
Bless him.
Like,
I thought, oh, he'll wear it for a couple of songs and then he'll whip it off. But he
yeah,
didn't. He kept it until the encore, and then he went backstage and came back out in the white.
such an
He
amazing
last.
tribute.
It was a lovely tribute, and it was an honour to be part of it, and to pay
Yeah,
tribute to a person who gave so much to the James community.
yeah. And I think that's one of those things that says a lot about James and their fan base.
Yeah, we'll look after each other. Everyone has each other's backs, and it
There's
is
no like, there's not really a barrier between like band and fans, is there?
no, and it was nice.
Fans see the fans as people.
Yeah, and
I
that was
think a lot of musicians don't.
no, and I think obviously everyone kind of took Soapy's death quite to heart. Like it kind of hit people in a way that you didn't expect it to, because we didn't know him very well. But I think that just shows what type of person Soapy was. That he did touch a lot of lives,
He made such a huge impression.
and then yeah, and then obviously the fact that they dedicated "Way Over Your Head" to him, and then later on dedicated "Moving On" to Soapy.
Yeah,
I think the entire front row were just like, especially the women, like panda eyes with makeup running down their faces.
it was a beautiful tribute.
It was, and it was well
It's worth
deserved.
worth looking like pandas. I feel bad saying that this is a memorable event, and we weren't actually there when it happened. But Tim's fall in Plymouth.
Yeah, that was awful.
I mean, yeah, obviously it wasn't something that we liked, but I know he says it as well. When he's unwell or injured, there's like an added vulnerability to the
Yeah,
set.
he doesn't feel
Almost like
himself.
no, there's like a fragile beauty,
Mm,
and I don't know if the crowd sort of see the vulnerability and sort of like pick up like for him.
yeah,
But
definitely, because Obviously,
I
you
think
can't dance.
Lincoln was yeah,
Yeah, I think it was mainly at Lincoln Castle. Yeah, it was noticed. Obviously, he was in the chair a lot, like spinning
he was
around.
on crutches.
He was on his crutches. He did come down. He didn't go onto the barrier, but he came down on his crutches.
He did quite well. He went up and down the walkway.
Yeah, and I
But I
mean, I
think
think
even in Edinburgh, he had food poisoning in Edinburgh as well, didn't
he
he?
did. Yeah, from as Saul said, eating some dodgy sushi or dead fish. He couldn't
Yeah,
say it.
dead fish.
Yeah, that was funny. But
Yeah,
but it
like
did. The crowd kind of pick up that, like I said, that vulnerability, and then kind of just step in a little bit of the atmosphere and bounce it up that little bit that Tim can't.
yeah, like they're there for him. There's like this additional
Yeah,
support,
and I think as
and
well,
I just think like
you notice Debbie and Chloe kind of have to step their game up a little bit because they came down to
yeah,
the barrier and they danced on the front platform a few times,
yeah, they did.
just kind of making up for the fact that Tim couldn't.
Such a family. It's
They
so
are.
cute.
James are a family, a big family,
But yeah,
and you can tell that there's
yeah,
just so much love on that stage.
but yeah, I'd say Lincoln was quite memorable for that.
Yeah,
Seeing the love, seeing like how they were looking after Tim as well.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
like you could see them all keeping an eye on him when he went onto the walkway, and
Yeah, and the crew thinking, "Oh no, what's he doing? What's he doing? He's got a bad foot. What's he doing?" You could see the
why
crew
is he walking
panicking.
down
Why is he
the
doing
stairs
that?
with his
He's
foot?
almost broken. He's going to play. Like, what's he doing? And
Oh,
I think that kind of family aspect does extend to the crew as well.
yeah,
They are all
definitely.
like, it goes back to the thing, we are all James. Like, everyone is almost a member of the band, and they all look after each
Yeah,
other. We all look after each other.
yeah. Because some of the crew have been with them for years.
Yeah,
That's really
it
nice.
is. And it's what you want. You want to see the same faces every time, and I think the band appreciate the same faces every time because it makes their lives easier because the crew then know the band, and the show can just work in just like a
Yeah,
really sort of streamlined way.
especially for a band like James, who are known for taking risks.
Yeah.
Like they don't make it easy for the lighting tech or the
No,
sound
because
tech.
they changed the set during the set, and that must drive the techs absolutely crazy because they're looking at the set list and thinking, "Oh, way over your heads next." And then Tim's like, "No, I want to do Laid." They've then got to change
Yeah,
everything and get within seconds and have that song ready to go. Whether that be the graphics, the sounds, instruments need to come out, like they just do it straight away. That's such
it's amazing.
It is a talent to be able to do that.
Oh, it's so yeah, such a huge talent. I don't think a lot of people realize how hard they work either, and I think we realized this summer
Yeah.
when we were doing the same sort of traveling as them, like
Hmm.
especially with Spain, knowing that like when the crew were flying and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
And
how
no,
early they had to get there to set up and how they're still there like hours after the gig,
yeah,
like packing things away and pulling things down. I think people just think the gig's over, that's the end.
everyone goes
But
home, but no, there's a lot of cleanup to do. They've got a lot of equipment.
so much equipment.
I remember after
I mean,
Middlesbrough when we were outside seeing them load up that van. It was so much stuff.
yeah. And I think was it when they did Portugal last month and then they had the Catfish and the Bottom Men gig in London the next day.
Yeah, but they had to have a spare kit.
Yeah,
They had to take a spare kit over to Portugal to then fly straight. They didn't have time.
yeah. And then the crew must have had to fly super early.
Yeah, pack it up. Lorry drove it over,
Yeah,
drove it back.
yeah.
No, they left it, didn't they? They left all the kit in Portugal
Did
because
they?
because it was there for Spain.
Amazing.
So again, like the behind the scenes logistics that they've got to organise as well is just fantastic.
It's incredible. They do really well considering like they do have more than one kit.
Yeah,
And you'd think that you'd be able to tell, like, oh, they're doing that this way because they've not got the original kit. But if you didn't know,
no.
you would never guess.
If you were seeing them like for the first time on that tour, you wouldn't notice the difference.
You wouldn't have a clue.
No,
I mean, we only know because of like the design, like the drum skin design.
it's the drum skins that
Really,
give it away,
that's what gives it away.
and it seems I think Jim always seems to have a different bass when the different drum kits are out.
Oh,
So if it's the red Dave kit and the sort of it's like a blue and black sort of design for Debbie's, he's then got his wooden effect bass.
that's cool. That one.
But when it's the green and red drum skins, and then Jim's got his sort of like bluey colour bases are all the different things that they've got to put on shows.
Yeah, that you just don't realize
No,
because you just go watch the gig.
yeah,
talk about the set list and like leave, and like that's a gig to you. But
Yeah, crazy.
you could be home from being tucked up in bed, and the crew are all still
Yeah.
sorting everything out.
Well, there's been times after gigs we've been out, maybe gone for a drink or go and get something to eat, and we've walked back past the venue, and they're still there loading up the lorry, and it's been hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Hell of a lot of work.
Other memorable events. I know we weren't there in Madrid or Barcelona,
Hmm.
but when Tim, Saul, and Chloe walked through the crowd for Lose Control,
Yes.
I mean, we watched every video going.
Yeah, we did. That was
That
brilliant.
was
That was
incredible.
fantastic.
I kind of hope that makes it into the America set.
Yeah, I'm a bit
It's
surprised they
obviously
kept it for
in
those
my
two
plan.
gigs and they didn't do it again. It was a bit of a shame because obviously the last time we heard Lose Control would have been, was it the Alton Towers gig?
Yeah,
Would that have
yeah,
been
you're
the
probably
last time it
right.
was played? So that was in 2022, so it's been 3 years almost.
It's such a great
Mm,
song. I have all three of them walking through the crowd as well.
yeah, no, that is pretty special.
Yeah, I wish we'd been there for that.
Yeah,
I know Tim doesn't like people having their phones out too much, but
he doesn't,
thank
but
you, people, for
yes,
filming that
thank you,
one.
because otherwise we wouldn't have had a clue.
Yeah, happy about that.
And then I would say, obviously, as well in this job, we've seen a lot of support acts as well.
We have.
We've seen a lot. Obviously, we've obviously all the gigs we've done between where we've done mainly summer sessions and a few festivals, but we've seen some pretty good support acts.
And I'd say our favourite we've seen with James before,
Yeah,
and we've seen him a few times this year, and we've seen him on his own before.
yeah,
Tom Smith.
yeah. Tom A. Smith he is just such a fantastic act, and he very similarly to James, he comes on that stage and he owns it. He owns that
Yeah, he's got
stage.
an incredible stage presence.
Fantastic. He doesn't just stand and play. He's moving around. He's interacting with the crowd. Talks to the crowd. It is fantastic to see like such a young artist with such confidence and coming on and being like, "This is my music."
And he interacts with the like his bandmates
Yeah,
and
you can
stuff
tell
in the same way that James do with.
they've got that very similar, almost identical sort of like relationship on stage. They go over to each other. They're smiling. They're laughing. You can tell that they are all just having the best time. And
Yeah, and it makes a big difference to the set, doesn't it?
it does, and it makes it more enjoyable for the crowd as well. Because you can, if they're, it kind of goes back to the thing. If they're enjoying themselves, then the crowd will.
Yeah,
And if the crowd aren't enjoying it, then the band aren't enjoying themselves. And I think when Tom A. Smith's on, just like when James are on, everyone's happy. Everyone's enjoying themselves.
yeah. He always gets a great
He
reaction.
does, and to be able to hear his new music as well is fantastic.
Yeah, because obviously he hadn't released his new song "Fashion"
No, he
when we first
hadn't.
saw him in Lincoln the first time this summer that we saw him, I think. And I
Yes,
remember when we were all turning to each other like, "What is this
yeah,
song?"
fantastic.
So bass heavy and just so different to everything that he'd done so
Yeah,
far.
but he's
And
still got his sound. He's still true to what
yeah,
he went out to do. Like when you hear his earlier stuff compared to the newer stuff, you can still tell it's his style.
yeah,
He's,
it's been nice sort of watching him evolve, both like his on stage persona
yeah.
and his music, really.
Well, I remember the first time I seen him, and it was December 2019. He supported the Charlatans in Newcastle, and he was only 14 or 15 at the time, and which is crazy. And
Crazy.
this tiny little lad came on the stage with his guitar and did a couple of covers, but then he did a couple of his own songs as well. And even at like 14, 15, it was like, wow, you are talent. You have got talent.
Yeah,
And now
I
watching him,
remember. Yeah, because he used to do covers, didn't he? And then he'd tweet them. I remember him tweeting Johnny Marr a cover
oh,
and
did he?
him
Which one did he
replying.
do?
I think it was "Please, please, please."
Oh, wow. I remember he did sometimes, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the
James,
whole of Lade eventually, didn't he?
he did. Was that lockdown?
Yeah, lockdown. I mean, that's a big challenge.
It's a big album.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he did it like it was what he was doing during lockdown. He was like kind of covering full albums.
yeah.
He is a
Kudos.
fantastic artist, and he's definitely one to keep watching because I think he's gonna grow.
Oh
He's
yeah,
gonna keep growing. He's gonna start headlining. I think
the
his
crowd is just bigger and bigger every time
yeah,
we see him.
Because I think now before people were like, oh, the support act, I've got a bit of time. Whereas now, people are thinking, oh, it's Tommy Smith. No, I want to go and see him.
Yeah,
He's definitely got a name, and I think that name is going to continue to grow.
yeah, he definitely deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, other good artists we've seen this summer, Lightning Seeds. You can't go wrong with the Lightning Seeds. Fantastic band. Again, they're just such a happy band. They all want to be there. They all have a lovely time. There's lovely dynamics on the stage. They own that stage.
They were really brilliant. I mean, I'd only up until Colchester, a couple of weeks back, I'd only seen them once before, and that was supporting James as well in Lancaster.
Yes.
And I only really knew like a couple of the obvious songs. I just remember absolutely loving them.
Yeah. So
And then English notes exactly the same.
yeah, I mean, I've followed them for some time, so I do know their music, and they never fail to impress. I have noticed with them they do seem to play more their hits at festivals than their own
Yeah,
gigs, which is fair enough. Obviously, that they're playing to a certain audience, but I wish they would play some of that like more obscure music and their newer music because it is so good.
yeah.
And I would definitely recommend anyone listening go and check out some of the Lightning Seeds newer stuff because it's really good.
I'd definitely like to go and see them at their own gig.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's just a completely different. It's a bit. It's different to when they do a festival. They do.
Because in Colchester, they had so many problems, didn't they? So many tech
They
issues.
did. You could see Ian on the stage was like a little bit frustrated, and it was a
But
little
you
bit like,
couldn't
oh
really
God, what's
tell.
what's going on?
But it all sounded great.
It
And
sounded great for us, but there seemed to be something wrong, and you could see them all like kind of looking at each other like panic and like, oh, what do we do? They were just brilliant, and they were so professional about it. They just kept going.
were they didn't even stop.
No,
Like to have like a little tiny break to sort things out.
because technical issues happen. It's normal.
Yeah,
But no, they just
can't blame
they
anyone
are
for
a very
that.
professional band.
I think the other one that I really enjoyed was when we were at Neighbourhood Weekender and the Wombats were a couple.
Oh, they were fun. They were good. I enjoyed them.
They were so much fun,
And that's what I think that's what makes an act is being fun.
especially at a festival
Yeah. For
when
me,
not everybody knows you.
yeah, and for me with them at the end, the actual wombat costumes coming on was just hilarious.
Yeah,
And for you not to know that's coming as well for like a first timer, it's just
no,
brilliant. And I'd never
it's
seen them before, so
fantastic.
I didn't know they were going to do that. And when these
Yeah,
massive wombats started prancing onto the stage, dancing about, it was just brilliant. And I think
they're
it got the
absolutely
crowd
fantastic.
going, and that was them ending that set. And it was like, you just could keep going here. You've got this crowd in the palm of your hand. You've got them
Yeah, they could have been higher up. I mean,
yeah
the last time I was at Neighbourhood, they headlined the second stage,
right.
so
Then to,
they were.
then
I
to
think they
get
were.
for them to get second billing on the big stage the
Uh,
next time, it's good going.
because they're one of those bands that like everyone knows them and everyone knows their big hits,
Hmm.
but then they've actually got a lot more hits than that.
Yeah,
And they're one of those bands that you can go to not really knowing their songs and absolutely have an
yeah,
amazing time.
no, absolutely.
Um,
And then I think for me, one that I did was seeing the lottery winners, and again, they were fun.
yeah,
I didn't know any of their music. I didn't have a clue what to expect, but they were just fun. They had a lovely relationship on stage. They came on, they played their music, and everyone had a laugh.
yeah.
And
And they
it's
have so many poppy songs that work well at festivals.
yeah. Oh, they had again. I don't think many people knew who they were at this festival, but they got that crowd in, drew them in
Yeah.
straight away, and it was just fantastic.
Like I've seen them before where they played a festival and I think they were on for half an hour and they only did about four songs
Hmm.
just because he was sort of like hyping the crowd
Yeah,
up and just being generally hilarious.
he's very
But
fun. He is
they're
very funny.
really funny. But you can tell they've all got big personalities and you can tell how close a friendship they all have.
Definitely.
And I love that. It's important when you work together, especially when you're touring together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think we've covered everything for this summer.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
Not everything. I think we would literally be here for hours.
I think if we discuss every single gig in the detail that we want to do it in, would be here all day. But I think we've covered the best bits for us, and we've
Yeah,
definitely
it's been an amazing summer. I think everyone would agree.
absolutely.
So, yeah, that's the end of episode 2. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. You can also follow us on our socials to stay connected.
Yeah,
And thank you, everybody who's subscribed recently. We've had such an amazing response and we're very grateful.
yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. It has been really humbling to see all the lovely comments of support, and we'll look forward to producing more episodes of shooting our mouths off. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.